Hey there, my name is Sissy Mathew and I serve as a pastor at Irving Bible Church. And I'm so glad that I get to share a few minutes with you, just some thoughts and reflections on Aryn Michelle's song, Give It All Away. Now this song focuses on the person, the character of Zacchaeus. And if you spent any time in church, maybe if you went to Sunday school as a child, you're very likely familiar with Zacchaeus' story. Maybe you've even heard the children's song that goes like this. Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed into a sycamore tree for the Lord he wanted to see. Now, I don't know what memories you have of that, whether good or bad, but I can tell you that I believe that Aryn's song is so much better because it just gives us a better understanding of who Zacchaeus is, what Jesus did for him, and how he responds to Jesus. And let me start with just a little background on Zacchaeus. He is the chief tax collector. And tax collectors were not good guys. Israel is under the tyranny of the Roman Empire, and Rome is this brutal regime that is raping, plundering, murdering all those who are under their rule. And tax collectors bought the right from Rome to take money from their own people to fund this oppressing army that had taken over their own nation. And not only would they make a profit off the backbreaking work and sweat of their own people, but worse than that, they were traitors. No good Jew would have anything to do with the tax collector. And Zacchaeus isn't just a tax collector, he's the chief tax collector. He's the chief traitor. Zacchaeus wants to see Jesus, but he's got a problem. Not only is he hated, but he's short. And so he climbs into this tree to catch a glimpse of Jesus. He's drawn to Jesus. Maybe he's heard about this rabbi whose teaching is so different from anyone else's. A rabbi who welcomes outsiders, outcasts like him. Perhaps he's heard of Jesus' miracles, how he heals all sorts of diseases. Whatever the reason, Zacchaeus has to see Jesus. And while Zacchaeus came to see Jesus, it's Jesus who finds him and who calls him by name. Aryn puts it like this in her song, and in that moment, when he knew my name, I knew I'd never ever be the same. Jesus calls Zacchaeus by name. He has a divine appointment with him, and he urges Zacchaeus to come down because he must stay at his house. Now this is unheard of. Again, no good Jew would associate with the tax collector. That's why the people grumble and they begin to say, what is he doing? What kind of rabbi is this? You know, Jesus, earlier in another spot in the Gospels, he says about himself, he calls himself the friend of tax collectors and sinners. That's the kind of rabbi he is. He turns outsiders into insiders. Zacchaeus just wanted to see Jesus, and yet Jesus now wants to stay at his home. And Zacchaeus responds with joy. No one has ever treated him like this. Certainly not anyone like Jesus. Jesus eats with him and he stays with him. Now, in this culture, to eat with someone was very significant. Nothing like how it is in our culture. It was a sign of intimacy and friendship. Jesus offers Zacchaeus acceptance and friendship. We're not told exactly what happens between Zacchaeus and Jesus, but Zacchaeus' encounter with Jesus has transformed his life. He goes now from being a man who takes advantage of people to being a man who serves people by giving away his wealth and possessions. Old Testament law required that you give away 10%, but Zacchaeus goes well beyond that and he gives away 50%. Old Testament law required that if you defrauded someone, that you would pay back that amount plus 20%. And Zacchaeus says, no, that's not enough. I will pay back 400%. Zacchaeus' encounter with Jesus changes him. He gives it all away. Grace wrecks Zacchaeus and he's not the same. And Jesus recognizes his changed heart and his faith. And he declares publicly that Zacchaeus has been brought back into relationship with God. The outsider is now an insider. The swindler of people is now a son of God. The defrauder, well, now he's a disciple. And what Jesus did for Zacchaeus, he desires to do for every one of us. He invites us to be his disciples, to enter into deep, intimate relationship with him. I want to quickly just share with you 2 applications that we can glean from Zacchaeus' story. And here's the first one. Jesus invites you into a relationship with him, to be with him so as to become like him. Jesus tells Zacchaeus that he's coming to his home. Jesus initiates the relationship. Zacchaeus doesn't know God. He doesn't repent. Jesus doesn't wait for Zacchaeus to clean up his act before he enters into a relationship with him. He's already shown him love and acceptance. Jesus says, Zacchaeus, I know you. I know who you are. I know what you've done, and I love you. And I want to enter into a relationship with you. And if you're a disciple of Jesus, the invitation is still the same. The invitation is to make space for Jesus by slowing down your life so that you might open yourself up to the work that Jesus wants to do in you. It's what Jesus called abiding. It's living your life aware of God's presence with you. If you put your faith in Jesus, then you are united with Christ. You are one with Christ. Now, many of us understand that cognitively, but few of us experience that kind of deep friendship with Jesus. Abiding in Jesus means that we live every moment enjoying God's presence, no matter the circumstances. And it's only out of our being with Jesus that we become like Jesus. And Jesus is after much more than just your good behavior. He's after all of you, your heart, the very core of who you are. God's desire for your life is to make you more like Jesus. And the more you become like Jesus, the more you become the person that he's always intended you to be. The more you become like Jesus, the more you become your true self. This is what Jesus is after. He cares deeply about who you're becoming. Jesus invites you into a relationship with him. Here's a second application. As those who have experienced the grace of Jesus, we get to extend that grace to others. Zacchaeus spends time being with Jesus, and this encounter transforms his life. He gives away half of his possessions. He pays back 400% from anyone whom he's stolen from. Zacchaeus gives it all away. He responds out of joy. The grace of Jesus grips him. The love of Christ compels him. And he's so moved by the generosity and grace of Jesus that he himself becomes generous and gracious. Zacchaeus puts his trust in Jesus. And then, driven by Jesus' love for him, he's changed. You see, when you come face to face with the grace of Jesus, you will be changed. I believe from this moment on that the entire trajectory of Zacchaeus' life was forever altered. The outsider had become an insider. The swindler had become a son. The defrauder had become a disciple. And friends, isn't that every one of us? Jesus invites us into a relationship with him, to be with him, so as to become like him and then to do what he did. As those who experience grace, we get to extend grace. Out of deep gratitude for the generosity and love that God has shown us, we get to be generous. We get to be loving to those around us. We get to be generous with our gifts, with our resources, with our time, with our very lives. Because this is what Christ has done for us. I love how Aryn puts it. She says it like this: because he saved my life, and that's worth everything. I'm going to give it all away. Because he saved my life, and that's worth everything. I'm going to give it all away. Friends, may that be the anthem of our hearts. May we be like Zacchaeus and give it all away. May we live lives of gratitude and generosity because we have experienced the grace of Jesus. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't gotten a chance to do so yet, take a listen to Aryn Michelle's album, Pariah, and especially the song, Give It All Away. I know you're going to love it.
There's gotta be more. I gotta see it with my own eyes. Been a cheater, been a thief. Yeah, I got riches that don't satisfy. I'm undignified, cause it don't matter what they think no more. I got a front row seat to something more. I was stuck in a crowd, but I've never felt so all alone. But when he called me out on a limb, I'm feeling so exposed. He said to come down, and in that moment when he knew my name, I knew I'd never ever be the same. He found me, I found him. He saw me, he said I'm worth it. I'd be crazy not to give it all away, cause he saved my life and that's worth everything. I'm gonna give it all away. All away. I'm gonna give it all away. Everything's new. I'm gonna try my best to make it right. But if I win or if I lose, I've got the only thing that satisfies. If you don't understand, I hope you see that it is worth the cost, compared to knowing him all else is lost. Found me, I found him. Saw me, said I'm worth it. I'd be crazy not to give it all away, cause he saved my life and that's worth everything. I'm gonna give it all away. All away. I'm gonna give it all away. And now I'm rich with mercy. Silver and gold can't win me back. Don't underestimate me. And now I'm rich with mercy. Silver and gold can't win me back. Don't underestimate me.